we go. Good, take a touch. Come on, meet it. Here we go. Come on, better than that. Go!
Anthony Sherwood passing on the knowledge to the next generation. During a session at his football academy at Recreation Avenue in Gulfview, La Romaine, in the south of Trinidad, Sherwood is widely regarded as one of the island's finest ever junior players, of not just his generation, but of all times. A point acknowledged by the Secondary Schools Football League when he was honoured as one of the 6 legends.
It's difficult to conceive that I came anywhere close to getting to that level, but the first thing that jumps out at me is the fact that as I look back, I had great teammates. I was in a great infrastructure, a wonderful school, and football is very much a team game.
He grew up in a small community in Point 14, one of the smallest boroughs in Trinidad and Tobago.
Football was that one thing that allowed you to assert yourself within the community, So from a very early age, I recognized that the footballers are the ones who were respected, and as a young guy, I mean, that was everything to me,
He showed tremendous promise from an early age.
I had the good fortune of being selected, I think at 11, to play with the national under 14 team. And then just had the good fortune of staying within the national team football setup.
In between, he starred at Presentation College, primarily from central midfield, where his deft touches bemused many.
And when Sherwood was brought down, Osborne made it 3-1 from the penalty spot, completing his hat-trick. St. Mary's tried, but in the final minute of the game, Sherwood made it a decisive 4-1 victory for Presentation College from a quickly taken free kick. And St. Mary's were out of it.
There was the freedom, I think, in those days to really allow players to express themselves, So in those days, your starting point might be in midfield, but, towards the end of the game, you're ending up as a forward or you're ending up as an outside midfielder. But by and large, I was a centre midfielder.
For Sherwood, it's difficult to compare the standard of the Secondary Schools League now and then.
The notion is that football was more competitive in the old days, but I feel that's doing a little bit of a discredit to the kids who are playing today. I think what was different in the old days was the fact that you had players who were more readily expressing themselves, so there was a lot of excitement in Colleges League football because in part of the quality of the players that you would have at Arima, at St. Augustine, for instance, at CIC, at Naparima. Those players were really given an opportunity to entertain, and so I think what happens in that situation is that there is the notion that the games possess more quality. But the truth is, I go and I look at a lot of the football played in the Colleges League today, and there are some very, very talented players, there's some very talented teams. In my opinion, I think the big difference is the level of support today as compared to the old days. I think, if you have a game that's being played in front of 5,000-6,000 people, obviously you're going to get a different sort of a vibe, you're going to get a different type of effort from the players, there's going to be more commitment. So it's difficult, it's difficult to play football in this era.